Hey, Metal Shop Steve. I promised 3 new album reviews. This is number 2. And today, or if you're watching them all at once, then same day, I guess. This album is, I'm not going to lie, a little bit of bias here from one of the newer bands that I've discovered within the past couple of years that I absolutely love the most. In fact, of all of the newer bands out there, this is definitely in my top 5. And that band is Frozen Crown. They are another European metal band. And I don't know how to describe them other than they are amazing. They have recently gone through some lineup changes from the last album to this one. And I'm not saying one is better than the other, but this album is my favorite so far. It's their 3rd album, and it's called Winterbane. And this, again, is a pretty recent release. So overall, the band, the first thing when I first heard them, actually YouTube was another place that I discovered them. I saw their video. Truth be told, I saw them as a band, and I saw their singer, and I was immediately intrigued. And after listening to them one time, I was hooked. So one of the things that drew me in was kind of this a little bit of a progressive metal sound here, just in terms of having some very technical elements, a lot of layers within songs, the vocals, the instrumentals, a lot of things. I'm a huge Dream Theater fan. Even a little bit you can put Queensryche in there too, because I think they kind of go together sometimes. So there's a lot of that kind of element here, not necessarily sounding the same, but a lot of that kind of element that I really like. It's very technically tight. There is no sloppy anything here with this band, with this album. It is absolutely a thriller. And I actually had a really hard time picking favorite songs from this album. I kept going back and forth trying to bump things on and off of my list because I usually try to stick to 3 songs as my top. It was just really, really, really hard to do that. I love this album. And in fact, this is probably right now my front runner for my favorite album of 2021. So say what you will about that. This is their 3rd album. I think I mentioned that. And again, just like the last band I talked about, if you saw that video, the artwork on the cover is great. And that's something that's so lost these days. Having a great album is, of course, the most important thing musically. But cover art, definitely check that out here. So let's talk about just overall the sound of the band. As I mentioned, they are it's just very tight metal. I don't know if you'd call it power metal, not really, not melodic anything. It is just a pretty good straightforward with a little bit of progressive leaning, we'll call it that. So the band, I mentioned that they've gone through some lineup changes. In fact, at the moment, with the recording of this album, the 2 original founding members of the band are the only ones left from that original lineup. And that would be the kind of the songwriter of the band, as far as I understand, at least for most of it, is Federico Mondelli, who is also the guitarist for the band. And then this band would not be what it is without its charismatic, completely amazing vocalist, Giada Jade Etro. Vocally, she's not one of the higher end vocalists, so they're not a lot of super high piercing type of vocals. It's not even a huskier sound, but it's just a little bit of a more complete, deeper, richer vocal sound here, I would say. So not one of those super high note kind of singers, but just unbelievable range, vibrato, unbelievable drawing out of notes. She can go all over the place, but she's a pure singer. Don't get me wrong here. She is a pure singer and absolutely one of the best that I've heard in the scene today. So the 3 new members of the band, and again, these guys put out a lot of YouTube stuff. not just music videos, which they work hard and put out a lot of music videos. So please go check those out. Links below again. But they do a little bit of behind the scenes stuff so you can get to know the band a little bit too. And I find that very interesting, and I find them very likable. They're all very likable musicians. So new members of the band, Sheena Bellomo, guitar. She is a shredder. In fact, they're two guitarists. You can see them in some of their newer videos from this album, just lining up and shredding the heck out of everything. Awesome. Next, Francesco's off, bass, and then Niso Tomasini, drums. So that rounds out the lineup here. And am I going to say it's their best lineup ever? No, because I really enjoyed some of their previous musicians, loved them a lot. They're still out there doing things, but they haven't lost anything. So, two of my favorite tracks, hard, very difficult. So, what I'm going to do here is I just picked a kind of a sampling, the opener. I think it's very important to have a great opening song, Embrace the Night. You don't get much better than that. If you're looking to get an idea of what the rest of the album is pretty much going to sound like, Embrace the Night is it. In fact, that's a pretty good flavor of the band in general. It's just, a total metal song. It's great. The next one I picked, and I'm a little biased here. Normally, I'm not jumping up and down for covers because I love original music, but Judas Priest, soft spot there too. So there's a cover of Nightcrawler on this album. And what I like about this is it sounds like a Frozen Crown song. It doesn't sound like a cover band trying to do Judas Priest, because this band is very proficient, very good at what they do on their own. So they don't need to try to be Halford or Priest or any of that. So it's their own version of Nightcrawler, and if you've never heard the Priest version, then you might very well think that this is a Frozen Crown song. So very good. I love it. I love it on all aspects. Good cover there. And then the third one I picked is called Blood on the Snow. And this one is more of your epic. This is one that would tend to make you think a little bit more about, kind of the Dream Theater type of aspect, Fate's Warning. Some of those that have longer, more epic type of songs, tempo changes. They take you on a journey. A lot of musical elements in here. And that's exactly what this is. It's pretty close to 9 minutes long, by far the longest song on this album. There's, like I said, a little bit of everything in here. So, very tough. There's not a single song on this album that I would ever skip. And I would even put this album on repeat and just listen to it a couple of times. It is that good. As well as their previous two albums. Amazing. So, if you have not heard Frozen Crown, absolutely go check them out. Again, I'm going to leave you the links that I think you need below. You will not be sorry. They are, like I said, they're just an all-around amazing, very well put together metal band. And that's why this could be, we're halfway through the year, this could be my favorite album of the year. So we'll see what else comes out between now and then, but this one's holding on currently. Go check them out. Again, this is another band that I would love to do an interview with. And so if that happens, I will be sure to bring that your way. I would love to do that. So we'll see what happens. But this was number 2. Stay tuned shortly for the third album review of this little triplet set. And I will see you later. Bye.